Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business. Thank you, Coach Caren. That's fun to run. We're here to take the hassle out of your hustle and to give you some practical tips on how to do business better. Today, I want to introduce to some and present to others my co-host, Ms. Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. You can see she was running us through the paces this morning. I'm Terralina from California Cover-Ups, and our guest host today is Ms. Caren Fern, your money mindset coach. She's going to help us get our heads together, money hopefully together today. So she's coming to us all the way from Toronto, Canada. And so we want to present to some, introduce to others, Miss Caren Fern, your money mindset coach. Welcome, Caren.
Oh. Thank you, Terry. Hi, Fran. Hi, Deborah. Thank you for being here today. And thank you, ladies, for welcome me every Wednesday to this platform. I really appreciate it. I get to come and talk my story and help out others in any way I can. As Terry introduced me, I'm a money mindset coach and the founder of the Money Mindset Academy that's opening in September. And this morning, somebody inboxed me and asked, what's a money mindset coach? And what did they really do? And so I answered it, and I'm going to answer it again. I'm the girl, I like to say, I take you from bewilderment to achievement, but let me break it down a little further because I told her what it really means is I help you tell a new money story. And today we're going to talk about why we lie about money. So it's going to encompass that, right?
Did you see how she slid that in there? Today we're going to talk about why we lie about money. Oh my God.
Okay, that's a good one. Go ahead.
All right. And so, they had sickness, there's debt in the family, there is school loans to repay. And so I come in and help you really take that story and not live by it, but use it to fuel you and make you do better. And hence, I work on your mindset. So when you get that shift, you can actually go forward, make money, grow your money, invest your money, and understand more than importantly how money works. And that's what I do. And so I put those two together because I've been spending a lot of, other than time with my clients, just time on me, myself, going backwards because I've had quite a few questions on how I get so much accomplished in a day and how I work on my mind continuously while I help others. So it caused me to go back and really look at stuff that I probably even pushed to the back burner that caused me to be where I am today. All right. So topic today is money lies. And that's why I slim that in. We do. We can develop all kinds of scenarios, and it sounds so real and true that once it's repeated over and over in our head, we believe it. We believe it, and we don't think we can do anything about it until we're pushed in a corner, and then we still do the bare minimum. Even though we're like, yeah, I do this, and that. We do the bare minimum, and we will explain to you why we only have time to do the bare minimum. And it is not true. Because when I look back at the things that I've done previously to now, and I know I'm older and my energy is not as great as then. I still got a lot of energy, but not that I used to have. I realized I do like quarter of what I used to do. So, it's doable, especially if you're younger. And even if you're middle-aged, you still can do it. You just do it for a length of time and then allow those to blossom and grow into bigger things. So that's why we're talking about money. So I'm going to give you the only three things we're topping on because they're so big. Why do we tell them? Like, why do we tell these money lies? And who do we tell them to? And do we use it as a way to give ourselves an out? And we do. The trick is catching yourself in the lie. Understanding, programming you so you can catch yourself in the lie and self-correct before it gets bigger. So Who do we tell them to? First, ourselves. I don't have any money. I don't know what I'm going to do about it. I can't figure this out. I'll try to. I hate the word try. Just do it or don't. Try keep you in limbo. And you get to get away with it. And you get to say, well, at least I tried. Get up and do it. If you're going to do something, do it. Let me just explain. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong. Check. Part of the process. New people's going to enter in and tell you can't do it. Check. Part of the process. Just understand. Those are just checks. Yeah. Check it off. A whole bunch of things. And then stop telling yourself the lie. So let's talk about how you're not going to tell yourself the lie. Pen and paper. Pen and paper. You write it down. I don't have enough money because, write whatever that statement is. You just lied, but go ahead and write it down.
Just lied, but okay.
And then scratch it. And then I want you to write without filtering. So you go and you write all your lies. Just keep writing your lies down. Be ashamed if you must. Cry about it if you will. But get over it. Because without getting over it, you can't go forward. Now, once you don't admit your lies, now you meet new people and you give them more lies. Well, I can't buy the cherries for $2.95 because that's too expensive. I mean, if the cherry was $1.95, I would buy it. It's $1 more. Please, you just lied. You would have want it for $1.47, and then you would want it for 97 cents because you'd seen it on sale somewhere. So more lies. The cherry is good for you. You need to buy the cherries. Go buy the cherries for $2.97. It's okay.
Not to mention the gas you're going to spend looking for the $1.95.
Thank you. And you swear to God you're saving money because you got all the cheap stuff. You went and you got all the sales and you're great. And I only ask that once you add up the sales and everything is great, add your gas, add how much money you pay yourself an hour, and then come back to me and tell me how much you save. Then we can talk. So that whole lie, I just break up that whole lie for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so. You make your list. You go to the grocery store. That's as simple as I can put it. You go to the grocery store. You buy the things you need in that grocery store. And you leave and go about your other business. Stop lying about your money.
Mm-hmm.
First to yourself and to anybody else. Because it just grows into a whole bunch of other things. And why do we tell them? Because it makes us feel better. And we don't even notice that it does. It makes us feel better. Because when you get a sale, I can't remember, I never forget, a girlfriend of mine called me up and said, Karen, I went to Buffalo, I got some cheap dresses. Girl, oh my God. 2 weeks later, Karen, I can't believe those blasted dresses. 2 of them don't fit me. The other one ripped to the side. She's like, I'm calling you because I know we're going to laugh about it, but I am calling you because I ratted you out. I didn't even know this. And I said, this damn girl wouldn't even buy a dress. She keeps making her own clothing. I'm like, yeah, but I still have my 2 dresses that I made. Don't die. We had a good old laugh about it. But in the grand scheme of things, she didn't save any money going to Buffalo. No, going to Buffalo is not the point. She could go to Buffalo, enjoy herself, buy the clothes, Pennsylvania, wherever else she want to go. And I went with her once. She bought a set of stuff, and it's not good. That's why it was $2, $5, and $20. Because it's dry rotted. It's been around. It's in a sale pot. It ain't good. She didn't save any money. Just buy tons of clothing.
Wow.
Did not work. But she get to tell people how great she can spend her money and probably push me in there and talk about I'm being a cheapskate or what have you. Don't care really, because whatever anybody say about me, don't bother me. That's your business, none of mine. Because I want to live without thinking about that. So that's what we do with ourselves. We really tell ourselves a lot of lies. And we use it because when we're not using those lies, now we have to think strategically about talking about other things, which means if you're in a friendship with somebody for a long time, and so we're not going to go into business, talk about personal, and whether you understand or not, you tend to want to have great stories to talk about when you meet. If you meet steady, if you meet far apart, you get enough information. When you meet, you can have a really good beefy conversation. But if you see each other a couple days a week or what have you, where are you getting your stories from if you're not doing anything? If all you do is went to work and come back, there's not much to say, unless the workplace have a lot of problems, which means you're complaining. So you got to find other stories. And people pride themselves in how they understand this on telling those stories. Now, in the book that I wrote the other day, I sent it to ladies to read, called Little Dribbles, I got a story in there about a young woman. And although she was, when I think back thoroughly, she was, I'm echoing, right? Am I echoing?
I don't know. Let me.
No, you're not. No.
Okay. I think I can hear you. That might be only me. Anyway, she was living with her grandmother, and she was kind of my first full-fledged, if you will, client in terms of me taking her from the beginning to the end. And that's why she's in there. In terms of, she lived with her grandmother. She had 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. I changed her name in there, but for references. And she was married. But the reason she was at her grandmother, in its essence, her husband didn't trust her to live on her own. He was afraid she was young and didn't know what to do, and people would harm her. So she lived with her grandmother. And so the husband worked and leave for months at a time and come back, because he worked in the gold field. He wasn't a digger or a diver, but he was the guy who did all the engineering things. And so he had to be there on site to make all the machines work and what have you. So he'll go away for months. And he would send the money to her grandmother, and then the grandmother decide how the money is spent. And if she's lucky, she will get an allowance. Really and truly, there's no other way to put it. And she treated the girl really, really bad. Now, that girl used that story as a crutch for years, until, of course, I enter her life and burst up the whole bag. Sad, but true. And so I describe it this way because I was having my own issues. And so I enter in with my issues. But after talking to her, mine was like a dot compared to her troubles. So me helping her, in turn helped me with myself. So lots of times that happens. You're struggling, you're dying. But if you just take yourself outside of your realm, you get to help people, because now you realize you're whining for nothing. There's people who with actual real problems here. There's 3 kids, there's no money, and she's being treated like garbage. And the reason she's treated that way is because A, she allowed it. And she didn't think she allowed it, but she had allowed it to that extent that a big woman with 3 kids, married, and was told what to do, when to wake up, what to do during the day, how to raise her kids. And she just allowed it. And she was, well, kind of my grandmother, what do you expect me to do? I'm like, you're a big woman. How do you mean, what are you supposed to do? We lied to ourselves what we were supposed to do. We lied to ourselves why we're not making money. And my first thing was, why don't you get a job? And she said to me, well, I can't get a job because nobody would hire me. I only have a grade 4 education. Nobody's going to hire me. I'm like, you can read and write. She's like, yeah, but nobody will hire me. We're talking about the mindset. She had decided before she applied that she can't get a job. And then she's got reference to support her not getting a job. Mm-hmm. So it seems right. It seems real. In all face value, she's right. Nobody's going to hire her. Nobody's going to watch her kids when she went to work. And she's got proof that happened. So therefore, she has no money. And the little that she has, when she do get it, she got to spend it on the kids. So face value, she's on point. Once we break everything down, it's not true. She's allowed it. Any questions before I go forth?
No, I found that story very interesting. I was reading it the other day, and a conversation with Caren will change your money story.
One time. That's a promise.
Look at
There
that.
you go, Tora.
Uh-huh.
Here you go.
Yeah, and
I got it. Here you go. No excuses.
she ran.
So, and I'm calling her Jenny in my story. And Jenny, once we got to talking about it, I told my grandmother, I said, we need somebody to look after my little sister. She can do it. She has 3 kids. She can be the babysitter. So she got the job. And it wasn't a long lasting job because we had her set up to go to daycare. It was in the process. So, she didn't get her for a long time. But that sparked an interest. And we start talking about it. And I start talking to her about money. We went into what she's going to do after that. You guys are going to have to read the book to get the whole story, but I'm going to leave it there. It's a good one. But it taught her about money, and it really taught her about what you can do. So I encourage people, if you have a job, that's your angel. And I got it from a friend, that wasn't from me, that says our job is our first investor, our angel. That job, don't condemn it. Don't get upset with it. Just embrace it and do great things with it. I want you to, if you're in a job, learn everything you can. Go into that job like it's the best friend you ever had. Hug it up and just learn everything about it. If you don't have a book, go buy a notebook, a big, thick, nice notebook, not a little skinny one. And I want you to write everything you're learning from that job. And just, if you don't know how, if you just write, just let it come to you and just write. Hit me up with an email. Let's talk about how you can, put it down in categories. But the point is, get writing. Pull as much as you can out of that job. Find out along the way, we are on social media, who is in a job that have problems, how you can help them, because now you have solved something from what you learned from your job. And somebody else need that information because they're suffering. So now you are their go-to person. It doesn't have to be a business right away. It's just helping. You're going to figure out at some point how to turn that into your moneymaker if that's what you decide to do. You're not sure? Again, I'm your gal. But in the meantime, write it down. Get it on paper. It's going to turn into something bigger than you can think. I'm talking about a little tiny thing. It can turn into something bigger than I'm even discussing here. You'd be surprised what a few information from what you're doing right now will turn into something great. Yes, Tora, I agree. Tora said I call it my primary investor while on the day job. Exactly. So many, I see people complain, I can't wait to leave my job. Oh, this job is so irritating. Oh, this job is... You got the job. You pay your light bill, your water. If you pay that, you pay your rent. You're putting food on your table. Quit complaining about the job. Go to work and do the job. There's people who is looking for a job and can't get a job. Stop complaining. My kids have taken terrible jobs. I myself have taken terrible jobs. Why? Because at the moment in time, that's what we need, and we fulfill that need. I'm always admiring my daughter for that. She gets jobs. She leaves jobs if it's not working out for her. But while she's in that job, she's giving 120%, and then she finds something else because it's not working out for her. She's like, Mom, they don't like me. I'm like, no, they don't like you. You don't like you at this moment. That's why they don't like you. Do not tell me the people don't like you. You don't like you. You're not enjoying yourself at the moment. Something is off. Go look after you, not the people. All these people in wrong. Of course, she's mad. She's upset when I make that statement. But tutu, she's back. Mom, you're on point. I believe it. Because I'm not getting what I want there, so I need to move on. Because those feelings, those things make you have to move. It's time for you to grow. Maybe the spot you're in, you're not supposed to be. Don't complain about it. Learn all you can. So when you get the next job, you're taking the best parts of you over. And you don't need to lie about your money. You don't need to, because now you know what you're doing, right? Yes, Starlina says, give yourself permission to move on. Any questions?
Cry our hands loose. We're just holding on to this thing. We don't enjoy it. It's causing us pain. We're tripping. We're stressed, and we're just hanging on. No. He's saying, let go.
Let go. There's great things on the other side. There's great things for you to do on the other side. Go do them.
Exactly.
Go get up, go do them, go do them. And you just have to have the faith to go do that. Nobody knows what's going to happen on the other side. And there's times when sometimes you don't even have that brace or that net that if you leave, what's going to happen. I remember when I was doing my same dishwasher job, and I told the babysitter that was watching the two kids at the time, I said, give me a month or two. I'm going to be going to school, so I'm giving you a heads up. I told her that I paid her the Saturday. I took her to lunch. I gave her some stuff for her kids, and the woman never turned up for work the Monday. She just quit on me. My two baby, she never showed up. She collected her pay, and she didn't come back. And I got her the Monday. I waited. I called her. She wasn't answering her phone. And my husband said, "So, Karen, what are we gonna do?" And I'm like, "Well, we can cry all day. She's not gonna show up if we cry. So I'm going to take the day off." So I call into work. I tell them I can't come in, and they let me know that, I needed to tell them in advance. And we went through this whole hurdle back and forth. And I said to my supervisor, if I'd known in advance, I would have told you. Obviously, this just happened. And I feel we were going back and forth. So I said to her, I said, "You know what, listen, I'm not coming to work today, and maybe not for the next week. Okay, iPad. So you either get somebody to fill my week, or I don't come back." And my husband was standing there like, and when I thought about it, a day went by and I couldn't get a hold of the girl. And I finally called back my supervisor and said, "I'm not coming back." And she's like, "What? No, Karen, you could take 2 weeks if you need." "Oh, don't leave. Like, take as much time."
Oh, now it's
So I took a week. And I started looking for schools. I just started looking. I was like, okay, I'm going to go to school because really this is not where I want to be. So I said I was going to do it. So let me get back to school. And my husband come home. I was thinking how I'm going to tell him, because we've got 2 kids. We've got not even a year-old. We got a 7-year-old. Like, how are we going to do this? We're living in a home at a time. And I said to him, I made the budget so we can handle this. I know how we're going to get this done. And he was like, "It take 2 incomes to stay in this house. We can't do it that way." I'm like, "I know what I can do." But, he was nervous. He was afraid. He was really frightened on this, this journey. And while he being afraid, I'm looking for a babysitter. I started looking for a babysitter. I find out what kind of classes I'm going to take and how much it's going to cost me. That's all I needed to do. So I start checking it off. By the Thursday, the girl called me. She says, "Karen, I'm sorry, but I thought you didn't want me anymore, but I can come back to work." I said, "Thank you, but no thank you. The way you left, I wouldn't want you back in my home. I've made new plans." I left the day, and I think the Saturday I went grocery shopping, I saw somebody had a flyer out saying they're offering babysitting services. I had the interview the same day, and I took my kids there the Monday, and I was off to school because my box was ticked. I was going to school. I've gotten money in my investments, and I could pay for it because that was my thing. How I'm going to get these things paid for. And I budgeted myself. I said for a year, I could live off of it. I could go to school or what have you. And so I was ready and roaring to go. And of course, she called my husband. And he's like, "The girl want to come back and you don't want to take her back." I'm like, no. I can't trust her.
Mm-hmm.
I can't leave her with my children. I don't want her to call me in the middle of my studies and tell me that she can't watch them. I want somebody who I can rely on.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point.
And she was, and she was, she was cheaper than the new babysitter.
Fantastic, Pat.
Yeah, that is fantastic. Yeah, Pat is talking about how proud we should be of her, which is true.
Because, we're always encouraging her to call to see how she can help. And we explain to her that will result in people asking about our services. Because you're going to be very specific about what it is you're offering, right?
Exactly.
So since
that is awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. Since her thing is video, makes sense.
That's what she does. That's what she does.
Exactly. And it connects to her purpose, which is getting information out about services in her community. So That's real cool.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to distract you, Caren. Go ahead.
That's okay, but that's fantastic. No, because we've always been encouraging her. So to see her doing this and doing all the other things, every time she's talking, I'm like, yes, Pat, you're on the right track.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, these whole things, a conversation with Caren will change your life. It's like, no, maybe not. Maybe I need to do it this way.
Yep. Because it's just hard when we just haven't made it yet. And yeah, so the lady was more expensive than the girl that came in. But I stopped looking at that because I knew that was also a distraction so that I can get relaxed, have her come back in, and I started looking at things that I talked to her about that she wasn't really living up to my expectation. And I just put everything down. And that's why I encourage people all the time, write it down on paper. Write it down on paper. And I want to say that if you're married, you know that there's no easy journey when you tell your husband certain things. He's just mad and don't want to do it. And he's just upset. And he is just in fairyland. And he will try to let that fear come over on you. And you have to be strong enough to fight it and not let it take over you. His fear and his worry is his own business. And none to do with me. No. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Because that is what I set out to do.
All right.
And that's what I am getting done. I'm doing this for myself, for my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren. I'm looking after the future. So if you're in my way and stopping me from my future, I'm gonna bulldoze past you to my future. I'm very sorry. I love you. I could be in love with you, but those things do not cloud me at all. Well, you see, I'm going after my dreams.
I love it.
You got to be so passionate and want your dream to succeed that the little things that come your way that people might say you're cold or you're greedy or you don't want to spend time with them, that's just them feeling sorry for themselves and want to hook you in their lives and carry you with them into nowhere land. And there's just so much people in this nowhere land scenario. Because I was one of them. I wanted everybody to be comfortable, happy, and be with me with what I want to do. Mm-hmm. And if it didn't work out that way, I'll even pay to get them so that they can get there. And I recognize that doesn't happen. The person has to want it. The person has to want to come along on the journey. And I can't take the person on the journey anyway, unless they are ready and unless I had my journey first. I can't take you anywhere, really and truly, that I've never been, that I've never cracked that door open. Because part of me is going to be doubting all the time that I can help you, even if I didn't tell you. I will be questioning me, which is not good for you. Because I can't tell you that you could make $1,000. Because part of me is questioning me, how could I make $1,000? When everybody said to you, well, why are you telling me this? Like people will talk about it. Why are you telling me this when you haven't made the money yet? Now, if the person made the money and lost the money, they can still tell you because they understood how to get there. They're just probably in procrastination mood. They're probably in the mood where they're feeling stuck. But that's not because they haven't been the journey before. But for the people who haven't been there before, if you never made 6 figures, as I talked about it the other day, 3 figures is making a couple $100. 4 figures is when you hit the 1,000. If you make 10,000, it's 5 figures. The minute you go past 10,000 and you're in the 100,000, you're in the 6 figures arena. That's all it is. And because I didn't know how money was, talked about that way, I went and looked it up. I'm like, what is a 6 and 7 figures? Because that's not how we talk about it. That's not how we did. You just make your money. Nobody talk about it, how much you make or whatever. People didn't care. But people, when I start finding out that people start caring how much money I made, or you can't tell your neighbor because then they're going to look at your way, I was like, why? But I realized that was a problem. Initially, I didn't know this. So for me, it's never about me talking about how much money I made and how much. It's just me telling people how to do it, how to get there. Here's the steps. Here's what you have to do. Here's how you have to condition your mind more than anything to get there. Conditioning your mind is way more important than making the money. Because Because when the mind is conditioned on the how to make the money, you can keep doing it. It becomes like second nature. It just keep growing. I talk again about in my book about, the first monies I made, because I didn't talk about the bottom, I make money otherwise, but the first concrete money was just 55 cents. But the first 15 cents, man, if you don't love math, you better start loving it, okay? Love mathematics. Learn to multiply, divide, and your percentage. That's it. The rest you don't have to bother with. But learn to multiply, add, subtract, and divide, and you're gold. I learned that you can take an orange for 25 cents, and I can make 60 cents out of the orange, which 55 cents for me, and 5 cents to buy back the product. I was
unstoppable.
Oh man! I'm like, I buy 5 orange in a plastic in a parcel for 25 cents, and I made 2 something. How much parcels do I need to make $20? That's all I need to know. I make $20. Then I need to make $40. And once I know I can do this, then this is like a dream. Excuse me, ladies. Bye. Bye, Petra. Yes. So you're thinking to yourself, what else I can do? So that's conditioning your mind. The second part of conditioning your mind is once you make the money, what do you do with it? And that's why my principle, guys, if you don't have my principle, I give away the first 5 free. And if you want all 13, it's only $10. But what it really does, it's for is to condition your mind that not everything that you get have to go back out.
Mm-hmm.
Not everything you get. You can even have a secret from yourself, which means you dump money away. You don't look at the money. You don't even know how much is there. You just keep dumping it. Go surprise yourself at the end of the year. Give yourself a bonus at the end of the year. So that you are feeling so surprised and excited. One of my oldest staff member, a girl that cleaning for me now for, oh my God, she's been with me for now 11 or 12 years. She likes to remind me how long she's been with me. With the company, and I had offered her some free classes because at that time we weren't getting as much work. And she's like, what else could I do? And I said, okay, what do you like to do? And she loved cakes. I'm like, come every Saturday and take a free decorating class with me. And I'll teach you everything, from how to bake the cake to how to ice the cake. We go over design work. And once you get this done pack, I'll teach you how to charge for it. And this could be a little side gig. And so she's working 4 days a week with me, and she had these other 2 days she wanted to fit in to make a bit of money. And I said to her, and she's like, well, Karen, I can do this. I'm like, hold on, you weren't even making this money, so let's not even look at the money. Half of the money is yours, and the other half you're going to dump. At the end of the year, she was in shock how much money she had by just putting it away. Just putting it away. She just was putting that money there in a separate account, had nothing to do with her day-to-day life. And then she looked at that money, she could have invested in whatever she wanted. Up to this day, she talks about it. She's like, I'm still dumping things away. And she's been with me for a long time, So there's always a way. So conditioning your mind about the money. As soon as the money comes in and you're making it, I know it's hard, but if you start living on 90% of your income, you can soon live on 80, then on 70, because it is such a beautiful thing when you can live on 50% of what you make. It just puts you on a different level of thinking. Your possibilities are more expanded because now you are finding ways in your mind how to make this work for you. And this is not in a punishing sense. This is not where you're like squinting and don't know what to do. No. I often teach, get yourself settled, and making sure there's food on the table, you're ready to pay. This is not what I'm talking about. But a way so you can expand your mind. But I also don't want you to get too comfortable. I don't want you to say everything is paid so I don't have to do anything more. When you're comfortable, you don't do anything. You do not do anything. When I lost my tickets, to be honest, guys, within less than a week, I could have bought back a strip of bus tickets. I just choose not to because I was just so into it. I was in the best shape of my life. I could dance, and don't worry, anybody could have left me out because I wasn't fat, but I lose more weight because I was walking, 4 hours a day. could run faster than anybody else if I had to. So I was benefiting in so many areas. And I had so much ideas that was happening when I walk that anytime I took the bus, especially when it was full with people, I would say to myself, why did I jump on the bus? Like they're just blockage. Because once they're there and I'm sitting, even if I'm reading, it was just a lot of blockage. Sometimes I'd come off of the bus 3-4 stops before I reach where I'm going to just walk the rest. Because they're just clouding me. I've gotten to that point where taking the bus was really a distraction. If I danced 5 days a week and I'm tired, then I take the bus. But mainly, I walk.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions, ladies?
Pause for effect? Is that like a pause for effect? I'm like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I shall be going back and listening to this podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wow. Okay.
The lies we tell about money. Wow.
Donna says she's speechless. I think because we complicate things, Caren, don't we?
We do.
We
do.
It's just, and when you were talking, the only thing I could think about was Mary Mack, you know, trying to make $1 out of 15 cents.
But you can.
And it's so simple. We're so busy thinking about when am I going to get to the 7 figures that we do not concentrate on
the single figure.
Yep. And you know that, and you guys know that's where Little Dribs comes from, because it's amazing when you put away $50 a month for a year, it's $600. And everybody's like, $600 is nothing. But $600 is $600 when you got no money. Mm-hmm. It's $600. Now, take the $600 and candy, put it on a GIC or something. It's going to give you 1% or 2%. It's no big money, but it's still money. It's like when I went to school, I borrowed OSAP. That's what it's called here, a loan to go to school, to go to college. But when you get the money, it comes in a lump sum and I crazy. So I went to school for the full span. So it comes in a lump sum when I do get the money. And I took the money and put it on the GICs. So I allow it to grow while I go to school, because you don't pay school fee only on the thing. So while the money's sitting there, I'm like, could I just rest this here for a couple of months? Because I'm not going to need it till the next time, because I don't want to just go spend it. And so even though it only grows like a $200 or $300 or something like that on it, it was $200 or $300 that I didn't have. Mm-hmm. And so it still grows something on it because it's thousands of dollars. So even though it's a short time, it still make a bit of money because it's kind of a secure thing. It's not, no big investment. It wasn't anything risky. It was just you get back your principal and whatever else you get on top of it.
Wow.
And so there's all kinds of simple things here in Canada. When you go to school, if you can go in the office and talk to them, you can work while you're in college. They'll give you hours surrounding your off periods. There's always ways to do things, and I'm always investigating anything anyhow, so that you can have that extra stuff there if need be. And then what do you do with it? What do you do with it? Never discount how little bit you're making. Sometimes you need to ask yourself, never mind something, always, why God do you have me, whether you believe in him or not, because I believe in God. Why do you have me here making this little bit of money? What lessons are you teaching me that my income is this small? What am I supposed to learn from this tiny monies that you're giving me? And then you ask him, show you how to expand it, and he's going to show you. You got to pay attention when he shows you. You ain't gonna like it. You're not going to like what he's gonna tell you to do, but you gotta do it. You don't like it. You're mad. I tell people, and I say it all the time, I went to live in a kitchen, not for me. I didn't know this though when I was younger. I went to live in a kitchen to help Jenny get out of where she was under. You see, he was using me to help somebody else. And I, at the moment, didn't know this, but I just did. But I didn't know that's why I went there. It was never for me. It was to get her to move from where she was to get to this other place. She had to get to this other place. And she had to get there by somebody who is not older, who she's not upset with. I was a child. I was not 11. I was a child. So for a big woman to listen to a child, you know God is involved big time. You know he is involved big time. Because when he allows an adult to listen to a child, he is involved big time. This is not me. This is not me just coming and knowing what to do. This is me just following instructions and getting it done. And he knows who she needs to listen to. And he knows also she was praying for this solution. You see, we pray for things and we pray for miracles and answers to happen. But when it's presented itself to us, we back away because this is not the way I envisioned this prayer to be answered. So, yeah. No. If God wanted me to do this, he would have come and tell me, you ain't coming down, lady. Gents, he ain't coming down. He just sends somebody. And pay attention. Follow the instructions.
Yeah, I love it. Follow the instructions.
There was a gentleman that came and taught at a conference that we're at, and he says when it comes back in potential. It doesn't come back with somebody bringing you a sack of money. It comes back in you're going to get some clients and you're going to have to service the clients. You're going to have to do the work in order to get the provision, but it's not coming to you like somebody bringing you a suitcase full of money.
No. If it does, you might want to question that, but okay. Did they print it in the back room? What's that about?
What strings are attached to it?
Okay.
So it's coming back in potential, and a lot of people are sitting waiting on a check, or they're waiting on something where you don't have to work.
And you have to do the works.
Well, you know, I was listening to a YouTuber this morning talking about 10 different side hustles that you could have. And she brought up something I was not familiar with, a website called getaround.com, where you can rent your car for $10 an hour. I'm like, wait a minute. My car is sitting out there now while I'm on the broadcast. So she listed 10 things, and I'm just gonna share a couple of them with you. One was, she said you could sell your hair. When was the last time you thought about selling your hair? If your hair grows quickly and you have long, thick hair, you might consider selling it. You were planning on cutting it anyway for the summer.
Yeah, there's people who I cornrow guys' hair, and that's what they do. You know, some of them is for cancer. They come and they get their hair in big plaits.
Yes.
And then they cut it off. They cut it, they wear it for 2 weeks, and then they go cut it off and they sell it. Yeah, this is a legit fact.
It's a business, and there's a website called Hair Sell On, SELLON.com, she said. So I don't know. Then she talked about house sitting, Frank.
That I know about. I know with the hair.
Yeah. Okay. So it was just interesting. Sometimes we're sitting in our solution.
Yes.
She said, run a room.
We are so sitting in it. I mean, I tell people so many different. I try a lot of things, so I don't need to try anymore. But there's always so much great things that you can do. And I told you guys a story when I was on blog. Like, I did hair for years, you know, and then it dawned on me, like, I could teach this stuff because I'm always giving advice. So exactly. I just start teaching. I have quite a few clients. And you guys are laughing, but I give her a certificate because people want to live.
You're talking about braiding hair now?
Yeah. I used to teach braiding, weaving, interlocking, cornrows extension, and if you had enough equipment, how to wash and style your hair. And when you leave with my package, like the big package started out at $325, and you come for 6 weeks, and each week you learn something, and then you come back. The reason I got clients is because you get to come back and get tested. So it wasn't just you learn it, you do it, you go away. I want you to practice. You come back, you bring a client with you, you test. I see you do the work on their head. I show you how to be a customer service genius. So you talk nicely to your client, what to say, how to charge. The ones who paid $5 something, I actually went to their apartment or their home and see how they're set up. And then I advise how to set it up in a more business manner. So you pay that extra for that. And then you get a completion certificate. Listen, you can give that, because when I did my Walton, all they give you is a certificate of appreciation. So I'm like, why can't I make my own? So I made my own. I go to Staples. I get the seal on.
Yes.
And they frame it and they put it in their little home salon. Yeah.
Exactly.
Natural hair. Exactly. And I did that for about 2 years. While I had my daycare, I did that on the side. I used to be booked. I was making more money on the classes than the actual hair, because people want to make more money. So once somebody learned and they did well, this lady did fabulously. She said, Karen, I made back my money in less than a month. I'm sending you 2 people. Boom, shakalaka.
I love it. I love it.
Gosh.
You know the dance.
Chakalaka.
My husband is like, I don't want to see you with the next new business in here.
You know, we also talked about this one that I wasn't really familiar with, and that was the Craigslist free flip, which is, you know, when people are getting rid of stuff and they just say, you know, just come get it.
Yes, oh my God, it's such a great business, because you're getting it free. It's only transportation, and you can sell it back. And you don't have to worry about charging anything big. We've got the Ajax, something, and the Pickering, something. You can put anything on there for sale.
Yeah. So you can flip it on eBay, or you can put it on Let It Go, or, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And just flip it because you got it for free. I was like, oh. Okay.
So you see how we tell ourselves a lot of lies with our money? We are not broke. That's why I said it's a moment by moment thing. We're not broke. We've got tons of money. Keep telling yourself that. Get yourself in the mirror and have this conversation. I am not broke. I am full of money. And you need to stop. You need to tell the lies. You need to really get the lies out of you, because it's in there for so long that you really need to get the lies out of you, so that you can go in front of the mirror and forgive you for stating that lie, because it's not true. The only person standing in your way, it's you. Nobody's gonna love on you before you love yourself. You better get there and just love on you, love you. Then go love other people after. Go love you. I'm going to repeat, then love other people after, so that you can be your really great self. And if you find it's creeping back on you, get back in front of the mirror so that you can do that. Especially baby clothes. I would take the free baby clothes to the baby resale store and sell them to them. Oh, Tora, exactly. I used to have people come ask me for kind of kids go out of clothes. I had a set of family who purposely would say to me, you know, anything the kids grow out of, can I have? And initially, I used to say, why? I had a family who wear all my kids' stuff. And then one day, you know, I said to her, why? Because she was in a position that she needed it. She's like, anything you give me, I know most of my kids' clothes, my kids spend their whole lives with me making their own with their clothes. I didn't buy clothes to my children when they grew up. I made them pants, shirt, everything. I sewed for them. So their clothing lasts them longer, period. So that was in our budget. So my kids go to school, all July, they come down, they bring their old clothes, we try them on, we see what fit, what doesn't fit. And so we go to Fabric Land and we buy fabric, and they get to pick out what they like. I pick a couple, they pick a couple, and they get to decide what they want to wear and how it's going to look, and I will sew it for them. And they get their sewn clothes. They get a surcharge clothes. So I'm on a sewing run from the end of July all the way to August. Sometimes even in September, I would sew for them. And the clothes would last them a very long time. And so my friend see that, and she was like, could I get when the kids grew out of them? And she was proof. Her eldest son, her second son, and the third son wear those clothes right through. And she's like, I just wanted to let you know, I start putting them in my clothing budget. It went down. Because I used to make the children, I used to make my son, especially jeans, with fleece as a lining because of cold hair. So even if he scratched the knee, he's got another layer in there. He can't get onto there. So he's getting in you.
I hear you. Not to mention you're in Canada. I would think you come in handy.
Yes, Toro. Clarissa, garage sale pickups are lucrative also. When people give away what doesn't sell, you must take it all. It's resell on Craigslist or sell to resale or antique shops. Girl, there is just so many ways that you can sell things. It's amazing. So it's such a gold mine that you got nothing. I mean, no line about your money. I am broke if you are broke at the moment, just for this moment. That's it. I am broke for the moment.
No, I'm not there. What is it? Freeshare.net?
Yeah, this is a great site if you ladies don't know about it. Freeshare.net. Okay, thanks, Tora. No, I didn't know about it. But, oh my gosh. There's really no way. There's no way. There's no way. If you say, I can't afford this, is because you don't want to pay for it.
Resell or keep. So, electronic equipment.
And resale to keep. Resell to keep. I've gotten some amazing electric equipment on there. People just want to get rid of stuff. Yeah. People just want to get rid of stuff. And they will get the best thing. My dad had paid $35, I remember one time, for a meat slicer, one of the big commercial ones. And then he bought a generator for $40. That kind of a generator I'm talking about, when he took it to Guyana, I forget how much thousands he got for it. Because the people that's digging gold need generators. That's powerful. So they'll pay the money. That's gold and diamond they're digging for. Are you kidding me? Come on. There is so many ways. If you need a coach and you don't have money, but you know you need a coach, go sell a whole bunch of things and get a coach so you can move on with your life. Like, there is always a way to do whatever you need. If you need to start a business and your business is not in the recycle, well, you can't do that. Like, God did not give me alone all these gifts. I know you've got tons. Go use them. Go use them. Don't go crazy, but go use them strategically so you're not worn out. You're not burned out.
There you go.
Profitability.
That's good.
That's the key. Don't go get very burned out, but it has to be profitable and it has to allow you time, because time to think is important just as well as all the things I tell you I do. I do all these things, but I still make sure that I find time for Caren. That's like a must. That's one of my requirements of myself. I have a lot of requirements for me, and I pull me up when I'm not doing them, because I know if I don't stay with them, I would not keep doing great things because I'd be burned out.
Wow. Man, Tora says, I also put up a post the other day on Facebook. Please check your name with your local treasurer. I Googled unclaimed money for each of the states I lived in and found money I didn't even know I had from old jobs and bank accounts. Checks are rolling in this week and being deposited to my bank account. And that is true. The state of California, they, like, you got a refund and they can fine you, and it's sitting in the state of California or wherever you live. It's sitting there and it's your money.
Yes.
So you have to go to your state or county where you live, Donna, and what is it called? Unclaimed money, in the state, and type your name in and see if they owe you something. Yep.
There's people in the state that teach this stuff, and they do it for you, and they take a percentage to finding your money. That same stuff. They made a business out of it.
Yeah, and I'm not mad
for people.
I'm not either.
No, because people weren't doing it.
That's so much money you didn't have anyway. You know what I mean? You want to.
And if you don't know how to find it, and they're going to help you find it, and you don't want to take the time to learn how to find it. Well, pay them and still get some money that you didn't think you had.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they themselves can't claim it for you. So what this guy was doing is he would go and search and find, and once he find that you have money, then he'll contact you, have you sign all the papers, tell you where you can get.
Let me
Then he get it for you
really quickly. A couple just bought a street in San Francisco in the Presidio because the HOA, Francine, I know this is going to interest you. The HOA did not pay the taxes for 30 years. They bought the street for $90,000. Now the people in these $1 million homes do not own their own flipping sidewalks. Are you ready? Now we're talking parking. They don't know what they're going to do with it. They're trying to sue. The city said, no, we've been sending you notices where you're sending them to the wrong address. Well, that's not our fault. It's a mess, girl. And I was just looking like this, like God can get it to you, Caren.
And they bought the street for $90,000
in San Francisco.
Do you know how much
parking space for $90,000 in San Francisco?
Parking in San Francisco is no joke, and for them to own the entire
street in the Presidio.
Yeah, the Presidio is a very high-end place.
Very prestigious community. Girl, the people, I was looking at the news, I was like, see, God don't like ugly. Okay. You better. Hey, you taxes.
I'd be putting up a toll because that's money right there. You own the street.
You can pay, you can pay people to enter an
It is correct.
Do you even own your driveway now? Because you can't get onto my street.
That's crazy.
Everybody gonna have to pay for an easement.
I can rent you an easement now.
I can lease you an easement for a certain amount a month for you to drive down here to get to your house.
Wow. Just saying. Exactly, Cora. Exactly. We're just talking about rivers, you know what I mean? Like, pay attention. That is out there today that could change your life forever.
And all you have to do is think beyond what you're thinking right now. And that's what Caren talked to us about. Think beyond your boundary here. You say, okay, this is all I see. No, go a little further.
Because people have let taxes go in these small counties. Like $600 could get you a house.
It's crazy. It's crazy when I heard some things. It's just the craziest thing.
Don't want it. They're not paying attention to it.
Yep. I had a friend he was from Tobago, and he used to flip houses. He used to flip cars right here in Canada because he got a car and he couldn't bring it over because of some nonsense. And he was like, got 2 cousins in the States and a friend to go find cars wouldn't pay off, whatever, the bailiff thing. And he would just buy the cars, sight unseen, and flip it right back. That's how he started his real estate business here, his real estate investment business, from flipping cars in the States. And he never traveled and go to the States. He just be right here, just online doing that. I tell you, stop lying about your money story. There's no need to do that. Just own it up. Own up. I did this. I squandered. I blah, whatever I did. Okay, here's my new page. And go into your new page. Go into your new story.
I love it. Go right Cora. Do you see this?
Any guy came from Nigeria. God, he bought his $300K home for $1,500 on tax.
And those people are not paying attention.
And because that little tax notice comes and you just like, oh, I'll get to it. Oh, I'll do it later. And you never do it. And then it flips over and the state, the county needs to pay tax. So they will, okay. And I think in California, they give you 5 years or something to get it done. But if you don't do it within 5 years, it becomes somebody else gets up for grabs.
This is crazy.
I know they are.
That's part of your money life, because you are not opening your this, and this has been. I was like in shock. People do not open their bills. Like they're afraid to open their bills. Like nothing is going to happen. No, it's paper. Nothing is going to. It is paper.
Open it up.
Answer the phone, people. It's okay.
It is paper. Nobody is seeing anything. You open it. And if you can't pay it, you call them up and figure out a payment plan.
Well, the other thing too, Caren, answer your phone. If you don't want to talk to the people, hang up.
Yeah. It's a phone call. It's the letter. Open it up. Have an open up day every Monday. I open my mail from a week's worth of mail if you can't handle
the daily.
it on a daily. I don't know. Just stop lying about your money and understand that it is not going to go anywhere. You're responsible for it. And nothing's going to change unless you change.
Wow.
Wow. On that note, I think we better get online and figure out where we got some money hidden somewhere.
Okay. Coming to us now.
There's money laying all over the place. We just don't see it.
Okay. And we know about these resources, but we don't take the time to be diligent about them. You know what I mean? Because we're running businesses but there's some stuff laying around.
You're not running anything if you just lost your whole street.
Isn't that amazing?
I'm with Tora over here.
I'm talking about this story from Tora. I think that's hilarious.
I'm with Tora. Let me go over there and look at the tax liens and see if I can buy me a couple of houses. See, in that, you've been wanting to buy property and couldn't figure out, okay, I don't have 300,000. I can come up with 1,500.
Okay. Probably got it sitting in the bank.
And I could, I can team up, Terry. Hey, there's a house over here.
Let's do this. You know what
I mean? So yeah. I hope you get some value out of today, people. I hope you take what we're laughing and talking here about, on the serious side of things, and go do something. Fran like to say, whatever we talk about on each day, take it and put some action behind it.
Yeah.
If you're not doing anything at the moment, put in some action. That's that's your recipe. That's your cure. It's the action that you do every day.
And sometimes, Caren, we get so distracted because business is bad. Maybe he just wants to stop us, so we'll look at the tax liens.
I tell you, if you think your business is bad and you're online, get your butt out of your seat and go walk up and down the street. You'll see bad outside. Go talk to some people. Go talk to some people. If you want to know how bad you're doing, go talk to some people. And then you say, I'm not really doing that bad. Go tell some people. Somebody outside needs your service. I love the online world. You can get so much more done. But I do not forget my physical world. Baby. My physical world bring me money. That was my first place. I'm not leaving my physical world alone. I'm dragging some of them online, but I love my physical world because those are my real people. There's no hiding. I am who I am. I don't look any different or anything. Love my physical world. Get yourself out there. Get from behind your desk. Go talk to people.